We roll our hose in a very specific way. It is 2 feet measured back from the female coupling to the beginning of the male coupling. There is a blue line marked on all wildland hose. It is important that when rolling you make sure that the male coupling is flush with the blue line. And again, how we measure is from the start of the hose and the female coupling 2 feet back, and that is where the male coupling is placed. This will create a perfect roll every time. The firefighters will now flip the hose over, making sure that the male coupling is on the bottom. The firefighter holding the couplings will double check again that the male coupling is even with the blue line. The firefighter at the other end will pull tight, creating a crease in the hose. Once he has found the crease, the firefighter with the couplings can drop them on the ground, and the firefighter with the crease will proceed to the hose roller. When rolling hose, we use the J method. You go over the top, underneath the bottom, and then put your crease inside the bar. You may now begin rolling the hose, making sure that there's not too much tension pulled on the hose, as this will create problems. When complete, the hose roll should look just like this. The male coupling will be slightly behind the female coupling. Once it's in this position, you can go ahead and band the hose roll while it is still on the hose roller. This will prevent the hose from falling apart when you disconnect the hose roller. Make sure to dress up the hose neatly before it is packed. Alright, so I'm going to be going over loading of the new simple hose packs that we have. As you saw in the earlier portion of the video, how they get rolled, all that stuff, we had measured out everything when it came to female coupling to male coupling, having that good 2 feet of space to make sure that the hose rolls end up just like this here. This is our final product. This is what we need to finish at right here. The male has to be underneath the female, and the band going straight down the center, holding both of them together. So when it comes to the loading, it's really important that you're very meticulous with everything that you do on these packs. We wouldn't have a messed up hose load on an engine. We wouldn't put 1 3/4 or 2.5 back on the engine poorly. We want to make sure that it's done right to the same standard every single time. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our hose roll and we're going to place it in the pack. We're going to make sure that our female and our male couplings are facing towards the top. From there, I'm going to get the hose itself seated into the saddle here. We don't want it way down here. We don't want it way up in the pack like this. We really want it seated right perfectly in the saddle. And we have these pre-measured so that when we go through the loop, then we end up coming back underneath the actual buckle, and we don't want any more than that hanging out of the buckle itself. So when it deploys, it comes out very easily. So seated in the saddle all the way down, go through the D-ring, up through the buckle, and then we go to our side straps. So for our side straps, we never want them extremely snug down super tight like this. We don't want to do this. It'll actually hold the hose roll in the pack. What we want is just snug. That's it. That's more than enough. Then we take these extra pieces of strap and we just tuck them up and on top. Same thing with the next roll. Couplings on top. Start by folding over your top strap. Get that seated again in the saddle. Go through the D-ring, up through the buckle. And I always go to that 45-degree mark. I pretty much make sure that that's pretty much just flush with the buckle itself. So it should look like that at the end. Then again, we're going to come back up. Now that we have this portion taken care of, we're going to tighten our side straps up. To where they're snug. We don't need them overly tight. And then we're just going to tuck those back in. Another big thing that we have to remember with these packs is that after the deployment, we need to take the deployment pull strap and we need to snap it back into the into the snap itself. If this is not done, these can get wrapped around the actual strap, which makes pulling a lot more difficult when it's on somebody's back. So just make sure that you go up and in, snap that together. Make sure that, just like on an SCBA, we loosen up the straps for the next person that will be putting it on, and that is how one of these is packed.